Abigail was a delicious poison. An intoxicating, overwhelming poison. Yowie wowie!
Let us in, indeed. Welcome to Abby's Window. I am filling in for Jeff tonight as co-host, of course, and we've got a whole group of us here in the chat. Look at the people who are with us already. I'm not even going to be able to shout out names. There are way too many people out there. So hello to all of you and welcome to what should be our biggest Abby's Window that we have had in a long, long time. So let me just introduce you to everybody. Of course, we have Abby. Jody is here with us. Jody and her husband are up in the square. I feel like I'm the Hollywood Squares host here. We've got the top middle square, and that's Jody and her husband. Jody, big show tonight.
Huge, monumental.
Absolutely. And you could tell by how many people we already have out there. The top right Hollywood Square, we've got Brittany K. Brittany K, what's going on, Brittany? How are you?
Hey, I'm all right. How are you?
We're doing okay. We're doing all right. She's got the Fiend in the background. Below me to the left of center, we've got Nicole. What's up, Nicole?
How are you? How's everything? Thank you for having me.
Anytime. We're doing very well. Jody wanted to make this a party, and that's what we're doing. So welcome in. In the center square, we've got Dom from Give Me a Hull Yeah podcast. Dom, what's up, man?
It's all good. It's great to be back here with you guys. Thank you for having me. This is awesome. I love it.
Awesome. That's great to have you, man. Glad you could come aboard. In the right of center, we've got Sean. What's going on, Sean?
What's up, everybody? Thank you for having me, Joe, Abby.
Absolutely. Anytime, man. The more the merrier. In the bottom center, we've got Hanzo. Hanzo is here. What's going on, Hanzo? How are you?
I'm good, guys. How you guys doing?
Absolutely. Awesome. We are all here, obviously, for a very big reason because we got a very big return over the weekend on Extreme Rules. The White Rabbit stuff, of course, led to Sunday. We know what we got on Sunday. So that is what we're going to talk about, obviously, is Bray Wyatt's return. That is what we're here for. So we're going to just go over that a little bit. We're going to go get some reactions from everybody here about it step by step, and we'll go through it as it happened. So let's start up with that, and we'll put a picture up of the man himself. There he is, that Bray Wyatt, and that is the first time we have seen Bray's face in over, what, a year and a half, Jody?
Yep.
And Jody's tearing up.
17 months.
It's been way too long. Yeah. Way too long. And Sean pointed out, he looks great. Love the beard. I don't know. Of course, you see the dreads. The jacket's cool too. It's hard to make out the jacket, but it looks cool. It's got like buckles and stuff like that on it. So very, very cool look that he had. And of course, we all got to see him when he unveiled that awesome new mask. So, all right, let's go step by step. This is how it started. First of all, I will say I got swerved. I saw the logo come up and I'm like, whoa. Yep. Whoa, yeah, what's going on? Jody.
You're like, what?
Yes. Yeah. What did you feel like when we saw the logo pop up?
Oh, I mean, we were live when we were doing that, and we were like, what? They are not going to end the show.
I immediately was like, they cannot do this. This will be horrible for them. We get nothing.
And then the lights went out, and we were like, oh my. And I didn't really I don't think it really hit until he's got the whole world in his hand started. And then we just lost it. Obviously you guys saw that. So
the first of many screams for Jody came when we got the whole world in his hand started up. Brittany, what did you think when the lights went out and you started getting that old theme song, that old song that, of course, the Eater of Worlds, Bray, used to sing, going back to when John Cena was out there with the sheet masks. What were you thinking?
Well, I immediately started crying.
You weren't the only one.
I got up and like I knew something was coming. Like, you know, when you just get that gut feeling, that was kind of what I had. And then, you know, he started, like, the song started playing and I got up. I immediately started recording it because I was like, I need to get my reaction this time. And my mom was recording me in the background, and I kept saying, oh my God, every like 2 seconds. I couldn't say anything else.
Oh, I loved Brittany's reaction. It was amazing.
It was literally just, oh my God, every 2 seconds. I was speechless. I was floored. I couldn't say anything else.
Yep.
But yeah, it was great.
As so many people were, and it's cool because now we're starting to kind of get pictures in from people who were there. So you're starting to see people that filmed it. They were going crazy because when the spotlight would hit the characters, as we'll get to in a second, people were looking all over the place because they didn't know where to look. And it was harder when you were in the arena. But of course, when they focused on the stage and things like that, that's where, everybody kind of got a bird's eye view of what was going on. You could see them moving the stuff into the stage area too. So it was kind of cool. If you didn't see that, it's out there on YouTube. Sean, what were you thinking, man, when you heard the song? Because we really didn't know how he was going to come back. We didn't know if it was going to be the fun house. We didn't know if it was what version of the character is going to be. But when we heard he's got the whole world in his hands, what were you thinking?
I was just taking it all in. I mean, it was awesome. I watched that night, and then I watched it again the next morning. It was just awesome, like seeing all the Funhouse characters, and then when they actually went into the Funhouse, and like they were all like messed up, and then the TV came on. Like, it was epic. It really was. It's so good to have him back.
Absolutely, man. All of us, of course, are huge fans, and this show wouldn't be what it is without, of course, Bray Wyatt. And as I've mentioned many times, Jody, Jeff kept this thing going all through the time when Bray has not been here. So kudos to them, and kudos to all the fans that have been with us through this whole time as well, because you made this what it is today. So, Dom, when you first heard the song, I watched your reaction, so I could see what was going through your mind when you first said, it's like, oh my God, it's actually him.
Well, I almost immediately started crying. It was amazing because obviously I had my colleagues with me, my friends with me, and they were just like trying to make jokes almost immediately because I was getting excited. I haven't been this excited, and I think I share the sort of sentiment with everybody here. Like, I haven't been this excited about wrestling in a long time, not only as a WWE fan, but also as a Bray Wyatt fan. This was exceptional. And I put it up against CM Punk's return. I put it up against Cody's return. I know I'm a huge fan, but it was just a wonderful moment. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it was happening. It was amazing. I was so
Absolutely.
happy. So happy.
It was awesome. It was awesome. And we're going to go through some of the other slides in a little bit. Nicole, what were you thinking?
Well, I knew he was going to show up, but it's just a matter of when he was going to appear. When the lights went out, my heart was racing. Of course, just like everybody else, every other Firefly all over the world, the hearts were racing. And then we saw the puppets. Seeing the puppets come to life is just, it was like unexpected. I was not expecting seeing Huskus and Mercy and Abby the Witch and everybody coming to life in all different spots of the arena. And then you see the Funhouse. The Funhouse is all messed up. And my mother even said it best. She says it's like we're going to see, like, it's slowly coming back to life, possibly. Then, of course, when we see Bray Wyatt, forget it. I was in tears just like everybody else. I was so happy for him. I'm happy. I'm happy that everything worked out well for him. And thank God for Triple H because he believes in him the way we believe in him. So, and I really can't wait to see what Bray Wyatt does. And with the whole Wyatt 6 thing, who knows who else is with him. So we'll have to wait and see, I guess.
And it could start as soon as tonight on Raw. So absolutely. Since everybody's talking about the puppets, I'll go to Hanzo. Hanzo, first of all, what your thoughts, obviously, on when you heard the song, when we kind of finally got that realization, it is him. It's definitely him. And what were your thoughts initially when you heard that? And of course, I have the puppets up on the screen now. When you saw them go to each one of those characters from the Funhouse.
I just, first of all, I think it was like 4 a.m. I was sitting there, and then when the lights gone out and Cole's gone, are we on the air still? And then you heard that he's got the whole world. I could have jumped out of my skin and into flipping Philadelphia. Just, it was glorious, and I tried to keep my composure, but the tear just rolled down my cheek when not so much that the puppets, because Rambling Rabbit just looks absolutely horrific. I had nightmares for weeks.
Oh my god, that was frightening.
Everything, every little precise detail, and then in the Funhouse, it's all webbed up, and then you just see him take his mask off, and I was like, oh, that was
yeah. I had to send a message to Jason Baker after that, just saying what a good job he did on not just Bray's mask, but all of the puppets. And I said something like that to him. I'm like, that rabbit was fucking frightening. I was like, oh my gosh, that's gonna give me nightmares.
I thought that was Bray.
There is the rabbit up for all to see. The rabbit reminded me of
terrifying.
The rabbit reminded me of Donnie Darko. I don't know if anybody has seen Donnie Darko, but that is exactly what the rabbit reminded me of, with the skinny ears and stuff like that. But oh my god, just amazing, absolutely amazing. And then so I'll just go. We can't really go round table about every one of the slides, or we'll be here till 3 a.m. So I'll just go to a couple different people. So let me go back to. Start with Jody. Jody, what did you think when you obviously we got the puppets out in the crowd, and then they went down below to the row that was on the floor, and we got a picture of the Fiend. What did you think at that moment? Because I started to think to myself, now was that him? For a second there, I thought, is Bray dressed up as the Fiend? Is that actually him?
Yeah, I mean,
I thought it was, for a second, but they went off of him so quick. I was like, okay, well, that couldn't have been him then. I thought that maybe that was what it was all going to, was that, but then I was like, no. I was gonna say, I saw a great video somebody posted on YouTube that they were there, and they were in the section literally right next to Ramblin' Rabbit there. It was funny because they panned their camera over and saw him, and they were like, what the hell is that? And then they kept looking at him, his spotlight came off, and they went back to the door, and it was already moved on to that, and the people panned back over, and he's still standing there, just still as could be. It was so creepy.
Like, that's frightening. But yeah, I think everybody collectively, when we saw the Fiend mask, everybody was like, oh my gosh, it's him. And then they flipped off of it to the door, and we were like, that's kind of weird. So maybe that wasn't him. So then that puts that question in your mind, like, who was it if that wasn't him? Was it just like a production thing? Like Jason Baker's people were in the costumes? Is it going to be something else? But yeah, instinctively, I think you just assumed that was him first.
They went off of him so quickly. You're like, well, if it would have been him, he would have jumped over the barricade or done something.
So what did you all think of that? And that, well, I guess I'll ask this question then too, because since Jody brought it up, and I'll go to Dom. Dom, who do you think? I mean, we saw these people in these costumes.
Yeah.
Do you think that they're actual wrestlers or just random people? I mean, the rumors that are swirling around, obviously, about all this, and people are saying different people. Grayson Waller had played Mercy the Buzzard, and all these other people. Do you think they're actually wrestlers in these costumes? And what do you make of the rumor? Now, we did find out that Bo Dallas, Bray's brother, is on his way back. And people are saying it kind of looks like the right height for the Fiend, that it could have been Bo. Do you think anybody actually were in any of these costumes, or do you think it was just random people out there?
It's a good question, man. I mean, it could be, obviously. For me personally, this might be a bit controversial, but I don't want to see a faction quite yet. I want to see, Bray have some time by himself before we see the introduction of the Wyatt Six. But going back to your question, Bo Dallas would be great. I think Joe Gacy's been rumored. To see. I feel like Grayson Waller. I feel like they had more. I feel like he's been trolling people, because I know there was a photo on Twitter with the original lamp. The Fiend lamp in the back of one of his photos. I feel like they have more plans for him on his own first, but certainly Bo. I could see him teaming up. I know that he's talked about wanting to do something with his brother. So if you're asking me whether Bo could have been in that Fiend mask and, whether there was wrestlers in the other ones, could Bo have been in that Fiend mask there? Absolutely, I think so. And there's, could have, absolutely, Grayson Waller could have been in the, there was a Hawaiian shirt. I think it's the same build, kind of the same build. But I would certainly venture of all of them, Bo Dallas would be probably most likely to have actually been there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Brittany, what do you think? Of course, there were rumors around before about somebody else playing the Fiend. People were saying that, way back when Bray was still around, someone said it didn't look like him at one point in the ring, and they were saying it could have been somebody else. Do you think that there were wrestlers in these costumes, or do you kind of think it was just random people? And tell us what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that this is a look back at Bray's past, or do you think this is the Wyatt 6? Is this a setup for what we're gonna get in the future?
I've thought about it a lot over the last 2 days, and honestly, I'm kind of thinking, because if you look on Bo Dallas' Wikipedia, it lists him as the Fiend under his ring name. That could just be a fan edited thing, but I don't know, because the height of the Fiend, the one on the screen right now, I would like to think that maybe Taylor would join him and do something like that, but kind of like Dom said, I don't know if I want him in a faction quite yet, because I kind of want him to, explore and do his own thing, and then maybe down the road join Rowan again if he did resign. But as far as the other characters, I've read things that said Liv could potentially be Abby the Witch, and then I think I read it was Joe Gacy that was going to be Huskus. So I wouldn't hate it, but right now I think I'm sticking with kind of what Dom said. I would like him to do his own thing.
Guys, really quickly, and I know Jeff likes this term, and so does Jody. We have some Bray King news, and the Bray King news is the WWE shop. If you could see my phone down here at the bottom in the square. Yeah, let me get this out of here. Hold on. Let me get this thing out of here really quickly, and I'll put us back on screen. There we go. That is the new Bray Wyatt merch.
Awesome.
In the WWE shop right now. So that symbol we got at the end of the program, the moth symbol with the circle, is now in WWE shop. So, and I think there are different types of shirts too. There's long sleeve and stuff like that. So we have our first appearance of, and actually let me go to that. There you go. We have our first appearance of merch for Bray Wyatt back in the WWE shop. People were asking about that and wondering when that was going to happen. So thank you to, I saw somebody in the chat mentioned it. So there you go. People are saying their shirts are ordered.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
I went to the Euro shop today. It's not there yet in Europe. So we're waiting for it in Europe. As soon as it is, I'm going to be getting one. Yeah.
I'm sure they will be sold out very, very quickly. Derek said he's buying one. Sorry, guys, in the chat. I cannot. There are 300 people in our chat right now. There is no way I'm going to be able to welcome everybody today because I never get around to it. We have to finish the show.
Yeah,
we do. I love every one of you. And welcome to every one of you. Nicole keeps bouncing in and out. Let me add her back in. Hey, Nicole's back. I think she's back anyway. I can't. Oh, there we go. Wait. Nope. Did we get Nicole?
Nicole is at the venue.
Nicole. Oh, is she really?
Yeah.
She's at Raw tonight?
Yeah.
She will be at Raw tonight.
I can't unmute her for some strange reason. Nicole's muted. Nicole, you're muted. I can't unmute you, which is really weird because it's not even letting me mute you or unmute you, but I can't. Well, anyway. Nope, I can't unmute Nicole. Very odd. Okay. Well, Nicole, we'll see if we can get to you in a little bit. All right. Let's continue here through a little bit here. Let's go to this part here. And they talked about this already. Oh, we got another guest. Tazzy's here. What's going on, Tazzy? How are you?
Hey, thank you for letting me in.
Tazzy has joined the party right in time for that slide up there now, which is the dead, cobwebby looking Dead Puppets Funhouse. We got this. We got that demented Funhouse theme playing in the background that was going slow and then fast and then slow. Reminded me of that creepy Raw that Paul Heyman was in charge of. Let me go to Hanzo. Hanzo, what did you think when you saw the Firefly Funhouse? And then you can go right into, we got the television. Now, I think it was said that we never saw the TV. So this may have been the first time. Am I right, Jody, or was the TV ever shown before in the Funhouse?
I think we might have seen it very early on.
Okay.
Anything on the TV or not?
We never saw anything on the TV, but I half remember it being there at one point.
Oh, the TV's been there from the beginning, but I don't think we ever saw anything actually on the TV.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Hanzo, what were you thinking when you saw the Firefly Funhouse show up and everything was cobwebby? Obviously, you see Huskus up there is either dead or in a food coma. And Abby wasn't looking too good either, hanging from her window. So what did you think when you saw the Funhouse?
I just feel like it's sad because for the last year and a half or 2 years, we was used to that, and now it's just like abandoned, and Huskus is probably dead.
Yep.
Maybe it's always dead.
In a coma.
Yeah, Mercy does his own thing. It just seemed very empty. I feel like as much as I want Bray to continue doing that stuff, I feel like he's pushed the Funhouse away maybe.
That's a great point. Sean, let me get your opinion on it. Do you think that this is Bray, his way of kind of putting this behind him, kind of saying goodbye to the Funhouse? Remember that last Funhouse promo we got?
To be
Bray
continued.
said, yes, right? So do you think this is, and it's a question I think a lot of people have, do you think that this is kind of him pushing that part of his characters and stuff away? Or do you think that somehow this is going to reanimate itself and he's going to go back to this character at some point?
I think, talk about long-term storytelling. It's bringing it back with the TV now. So I think we're going to get more of it just enhanced. I just think his mind's always going. It's always working. And it's the best he's yet to come. I really think so.
All right, cool. Tazzy, since you just came on, Tazzy, what do you think about all this? I mean, we didn't have time to analyze this. Obviously, we were on the stream and kind of picked this apart. So what do you think of what they showed of the Funhouse, going back to the puppets and the real life versions of the puppets? Do you think that he's going to go back to that Fiend character, or do you think this is going to be something new altogether, and Wyatt 6 is going to be just the sixth version of himself, as C Wrestling mentioned, and this is going to be something new altogether?
I would say that, but, back in the day when he was the Fiend, we got the cult leader Bray back, which we didn't think we was going to get. So there is a possibility that we might get this back where I don't know, maybe when probably in the near future he'll go against Randy again. We might get the Fiend back just to just freshen dates up. He probably will go to each character throughout this whole new what's this word? Idea.
I think we've got another guest. And I think it's C Wrestling.
Well, sure. I'm literally so late, but I did say to Jody I'll jump in. So hello.
Hello, C Wrestling. How are you?
What's up,
Hey, mate.
I'm very tired after the last few days.
I'm sure.
I'm going to start a petition for WWE to do like lunchtime shows in the US, because then we.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that'd be awesome, man.
Nice.
They need more shows like Crown Jewel and stuff that actually take place during the day and not the nighttime hours for the UK people. There you
Clash
go.
at the Castle, perfect.
A clash every month. Why not? Why not? All right, let's go to this one here. And this is obviously what showed up on that television screen. I was telling you guys earlier before we started the show, it reminded me a little bit of, especially the in and out of the static and stuff like that, and how we heard the distorted voice. It reminded me a little bit of Mr. Robot. I love the show. Had a lot of computerized stuff going on there, and you heard him say, who killed the world, and then it was distorted again, who killed the world, and then we heard, I believe we heard a you did, and then a we did. So it was changed from what we got on that poster. So it was very cool. Some people are hearing, they said heard another word in between there. It's hard to tell. But see, you may as well go since you're here. I mean, what did you think of when we saw this video come up on that TV screen in the Funhouse?
I don't know, the minute he said we did, is he referring to himself and the fans? Or is he referring to himself and the puppets, like as in a faction? It
could very well be. Let me go to Dom. Dom, what did you think of? First of all, what did you think of the mask? And again, even this version, if you look at it, and we have a picture of the other one as well that he actually comes wearing to the arena. So if you look at it here, they're a little different. If you look at it. It looks a little bit different on both sides, so they could have been different versions, or maybe it's just a blue light kind of playing tricks a little bit, but the chin looks a little bit different, more detailed than the one that he's wearing. What did you think of the mask, and what did you think of when he appeared on that TV screen?
Oh man, so cool. Like everybody here, the mask is interesting because a lot of people are saying, oh, is that the White Rabbit? But to me, that looks like something different entirely. So I'm very interested to see what lore or ideas come around the mask and what it actually is meant to represent. Obviously, I think I echo some earlier sentiments. I don't think he's going to be wrestling in it. It looks very heavy and very large, but it's a fantastic visual. I think someone in the comments said like a forced smile or something like that. There's a lot of really cool visualization, but it was just an incredible sight to see, and a beautiful mask, obviously designed by Jason Baker and the team, like an incredible work of art. But I'm curious to know what it means, because it's not a rabbit, is it? That's not a white rabbit. So obviously put that in the chat and put that to you guys. I'm fascinated by the significance and the meaning, or the potential meaning of that mask. I think I see a twisted mustache there, and things like that. So yeah.
The sign of the evil villain from back in the day, when you got that little pointy mustache on the mask. Yeah, absolutely. Jody, I know when you first saw this, right away you went to the Black Phone. I thought of Black Phone as well, and right away Jody went to Jason Baker. What did you what were your impressions of when you first saw this mask and saw Bray walk out with it on?
Oh, immediately the first thing I thought of, I said, I guarantee you Jason Baker did that. 100%. And then not long after that, we found out that he did, and I did shoot him a message yesterday and was just like, dude, it was freaking beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't wait till this appears in the WWE shop, because I will have it. And C Wrestling well knows I pay very well for masks. In fact, I buy too many of them sometimes, apparently.
I hope they don't do a countdown thing again, because
I
don't know if YouTube can handle another one of them.
C Wrestling, if you don't know the story, had a video where he counted down to the time when the masks went on sale, the Burn Fiend, and there I am trying to put them into my cart, and I ended up looking like I bought 3 of them, and I'm like, oh dear God, I would have been instantaneously divorced. My wife would have left me. So thankfully that did not happen. But Brittany, what do you think of his new mask?
I'm kind of glad you didn't pan back to the camera, because I look like a creep. I'm like looking all close at this. But I'm kind of looking at the left picture, and maybe it's just me. I don't know if anybody pointed this out yet, but it looks like he's wearing the Fiend's contacts in the left photo.
Okay. Video. Or unless it's like black and white.
Maybe. I don't know, because it's definitely like you could tell on the right photo, like when he came out with the lantern.
Yeah,
it's his like regular eyes, but like on the left, it kind of looks like something very similar to the Fiend's eyes.
Yeah,
that's a good catch. Yeah, you could see, like, it's hard to see there because it's obviously black and white, but you could see it does look like colored contacts.
Yeah,
the way that they're set up in there. So yeah, that's a great catch. Hanzo, what do you think of the mask?
Yeah, it's one of those things that probably will take its toll on me, like slowly on me. But I do like that, like, it looks better in black and white compared to when he had the lantern up in his face. But it does look good. I mean, I give him credit. I mean, Jason Baker does create a good mask, but it's interesting if he'll wear it. I don't think he'll wear it in the ring. I don't think he will. But if it's just like for promos, I like it, but it doesn't beat the Fiend's mask at all. But it is a good mask.
Tazzy, what about you?
Oh yeah, like in the beginning, like everybody else, it took me back to the Black Phone mask because the way it's like it's not like it's like a grayish brown type of mask. If that makes sense. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, like everybody else, I don't think he's gonna be wrestling this mask. He could wear it, or wear it could be an entrance mask where he can wear it to the going to the ring. That's the only way I can see this mask being worn. Otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, it would be very hard to wrestle in that, I think, because it does look heavy and looks like heavy plastic. Jeff put out something there. Just obviously, Jeff couldn't be with us tonight, but Jeff put out something. He was talking about it with me after this was over, and he made mention of how in the Black Phone he wears different masks to show emotions. So he has a one that has a frown and a different expression. So as Jeff was kind of saying, I wonder if he may have made him different expression masks that he could wear. That would be really cool.
Yeah,
that's exactly what my first thought was when I saw it. Having seen that movie recently, I thought that maybe that, especially once he took it off there at the end, I thought, oh well, he could totally be like the character in that movie and just switch on and off different masks for different things,
different emotions.
Yeah.
Very creepy movie, by the way. If you have not seen it, that's your homework to the chat. Go watch it. It's very, very good. It's on, where's that on? Hulu? I think it's on Hulu. No, Peacock. Peacock, yes. So you already must have that to watch the wrestling. So go watch it. It's a really, really good movie. All right, let's move on to, we've got a doorway. We had a doorway. We had a big blue door that looks like this. And I got to ask C this because obviously C is the master of the theories. C, there have been shouts out by a lot of people out there on the socials saying that, and I want to know if you believe this because, like I said, obviously, C puts out all the theories about Bray. But do you think this is the door? Some people are saying this is the other side of the door for the Firefly Funhouse.
It could be. I mean, it could also be a doorway to somewhere completely different.
Very true. Very true. Could it be like
it could be a whole world we haven't even seen yet?
That's true. That's true. I mean, I like how it looks like there's leaves and stuff, almost like a tree and stuff above the door.
It almost looks like it's like, you know how things get overgrown over time and they're like lost in the woods?
Mm-hmm.
And then you get that overgrowth. That's kind of what it reminds me of.
Is it kind of an Alice in Wonderland type thing too? Where it almost looks kind of like when it first came out, it almost looks like a magical door with the blue light and the white light and stuff like that. Where and it looks like kind of like an enchanted door. Not it didn't really look like it had the smoke, of course, but didn't really look like an evil thing. Looked more like an enchanted kind of a door. So, Sean, what did you think of when we got the blue door? I'll be honest, they swerved me again because when they put the black on the door and we got nothing, I'm like, do not tell me right now that they're leaving this at the door. Do not tell me that they're leaving this at the door and we're not going to find out.
Lantern.
I honestly, it's the same thing. I thought it was the other side of the funhouse. I guess they were passing out the signs prior to everybody walking in there, like abandon y'all who enter here.
Yep.
Something like that. So I think I was trying to put two and two together. That like Bray's walking out that door from the funhouse. He finally left.
So he left the funhouse.
That's interesting too that they were passing out the signs that says "Abandon all hope, ye who enter here," like the Dante's Inferno quote. Yes. And the reason I think it could be the door to the funhouse is because on the other side of the door, it's "Abandon all hope, ye who exit here."
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
Exactly.
Very true. Very true. All right, let's go to, we got the man himself. The lantern came out of the door, the smoke, and then all of a sudden you saw the lantern. Now, this is obviously not the lantern with the head. This is his old lantern from Eater of Worlds Bray. So you got the lantern coming out. You got him walking out with that mask that we just showed you a little bit ago. And then obviously, finally, we got this. When the mask came off and the crowd went absolutely nuts. When they saw him walk out, there were holy shit chants that filled that entire arena. that were going constantly. And then you got him walking out and taking off the mask. And then, of course, the reveal. And Bray Wyatt has returned to the WWE. So take me through your thoughts when this actually happened. I mean, we at this point, everybody knew this was him, but I still had my doubts that we were going to see him. I really didn't. Maybe I thought it was going to be a tease, and I'm still doubting that we were going to see him. So, Jody, when you finally saw him, I know you were screaming.
I think that when he actually walked out and took the mask off, that was the moment that I started getting all tears in my eyes and started crying, because again, you were like, you knew it, but like you knew he was going to come back at some point. You didn't know when, you didn't know how, and they did so much before he actually came out of the door that I thought the same thing. When the light went off, we were like, oh, we're just going to get a tease. It's going to be a big tease. And then we have to, wait to watch, kind of like the White Rabbit has been teases all along. You have to wait for the next show. So yeah, when he came out, I mean, I just lost.
Plus, you didn't know if you were going to get to see his face or not. Maybe that was could have been a mask he did wear all the time, but now,
yeah,
we put that to bed right away.
So it's, that's when I started crying, because you actually saw his face and saw that he was back, and it, like, I don't know, it just hit you like a ton of bricks. Like, we've been waiting for this, I mean, since the day he got released. So it was so awesome to be able to see him, and glad that he's back.
One interesting thing, we went back and watched the first match of the Fiend against Finn Balor from SummerSlam a couple years ago, and that match, the Fiend came out with the Bray's head lantern. It had a blue light in it, just like this lantern did. Interesting.
Yeah, good call. I want to go down the line with this one, because obviously this is the big reveal. So, Brittany, I'm going to go to you. When you saw him take that mask off, what were the emotions that were running through you?
I mean, like I said to Jody the other day, like, I was excited doing the reaction video. I mean, I knew it was coming, and then, like, as soon as he took the mask off, I just screamed. I literally screamed like bloody murder. My neighbors were probably like, "What's going on?" But it was just so great to be able to, see him. And I mean, it's one thing like going to like the meet and greets and seeing him and, face to face, but like when he finally came back, it was just so great, because like many other people have said, I mean, it was so boring for me for the longest time after they released him, and just having him back makes me really excited to watch it again.
Yeah, absolutely. This will bring, I mean, look, WWE, and again, I know people already said this, but shout out to Triple H. He's correcting a lot of wrongs, let's say, a lot of mistakes maybe that might have been made, and bringing these people back and bringing people in and getting a lot of people excited again about WWE, and people that may have gone away from it. I know the last time that Bray left, and this was obviously before he came back as the Fiend, but I had gotten away from it too. I was upset that he was gone. And then I came back, of course, for the Funhouse vignettes and started watching it all over again. So I'm sure a lot of people are doing that as well. Sean, when you first saw him, what were your thoughts?
It was just powerful. Like, I wanted to call my ex-wife and get my kids out of bed just to watch it.
Wake the kids!
Seriously. Like, I can't wait to have them this weekend so they can watch it with me. Like, it was just really awesome. Just excited for what the future holds. Hope it starts tonight.
Yes. I know I showed my 17-year-old daughter, 18-year-old daughter, sorry. She's going to her first wrestling show with me soon. And she was the one who asked me to go. And it was like, wow, okay. I never really, but then I showed it to her and she's like, Dad, that's going to terrify me if he comes out like that at the show. But yeah, it's awesome. Dom, what did you think when he I mean, I saw your video. I know what your reaction was, but what was going through your mind when you finally saw his face after this whole White Rabbit thing, and we finally got a Bray in person?
Oh man, it goes back to what everyone was saying. I think there's, WWE has a habit of teasing us, and there was no guarantee we were going to see a face. I was kind of just waiting for the door, like the door to be the end of it and everything to go black, and not expecting to see Bray actually there. So to see that, you know, and I thought, oh, maybe we're just going to see the mask. And then that was going to be it. And every time, every minute, every few seconds that went by, I was like, this is amazing, as you know. And then it just got louder because I was like, no way, we're seeing the mask. No way, his face. Oh, my God. And It was just like, and like you say, you know, like you guys are saying, it's just a wonderful moment because like my partner, Emma, you know, she's in bed normally when we're doing these live streams. You know, we finish at like 4 or 5, you know, in the morning or whatever, and she was so happy for me because she knows how much I've been looking forward to this, you know what I mean? And she wanted to watch it with me this morning because she was excited that I was excited, and that's a beautiful thing, man. And just to have been there watching it live, you know, with my friends, and to be here with you guys today, it's just a beautiful thing and a testament to an incredible character and an absolutely beautiful moment with so much yet to see. So many more videos to do, so many more, you know, chats like this to have with you guys. There's so much there. It's so exciting, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, oh my gosh, it really is. This is just the beginning because again, we really know. I think C mentioned this in a video. We know nothing. I was watching his most recent. We know nothing. We just know that he's back. But that just presents all kind of excitement as to what we're gonna get in the future. So Hanzo, what did you think when you finally saw him reveal his face to everyone?
Well, I absolutely roared with joy, and then I shed a little tear, and then I just purely just said, the greatest of all time is home. The greatest of all time is home. And then, even though he botched his audio a little bit, but when he blew into I'm here, and it blew into the lantern, I was like, oh. And I wanted more.
I can imagine his nerves were probably through the roof.
No doubt. No doubt. Tazzy, I know what you did. If you didn't see our reaction, Tazzy was gone, like literally gone. I didn't know what happened to Tazzy. I didn't know whether he passed out, whether I needed to call an ambulance, whether or not like he just like disappeared in a puff of smoke. I didn't know. All I know is I looked at 1 second, then I looked back and he was gone. He was just gone. So man, I mean, obviously you had some time to process it, but what were you thinking when you finally saw him?
So it's crazy because, by the way, I don't know if anybody got my Twitter, but I did get a noise complaint from the neighbors. I didn't think I was going to get one. I'm like all the noise that all these neighbors making it, and I take one little peek, and there we go. I don't know if anybody noticed that. Well, everybody noticed that when I left the set, I actually was jumping on my couch.
As he went Tom Cruise.
I was like, dude, it's crazy because we went up to it's been a long 3 weeks, and that whole weekend when all the White Rabbits start, I was at a couple of those events, and I was like, when I was there, I was like, oh my God, this is such Bray right now. This gotta be Bray. I don't know it's Bray, but it has to be him. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like all that emotion that I had then, all together with the whole Saturday when I saw him. Look, I got tears in my eyes now. It's just amazing. It's like, good. It's like this is my second wrestler. Yeah, everybody knows who my first wrestler of all time is, but this is like literally my second wrestler of all time. It's like, oh my God, he's here. He's here, and he's home. He's home. He didn't go to the other place.
I'm sure that was probably a big sigh of relief for a lot of people too. Yeah. See Wrestling, obviously, you had said on your videos, and if you haven't watched them, go check them out, obviously, but I'm sure most of the people in our chat did. But if you haven't, I mean, what was, when you saw his face, what was the first thoughts that ran through your mind?
So some people may notice that my video went up slightly later than other YouTubers, and that is because I could not take a screenshot. I literally was glued to the screen, just marking out like a little fanboy, completely honestly. The minute that song started, that was it for me. I was gone. I was completely in the moment. And I'll tell you one thing, a story, and Hanzo can attest to this because he was there. We met Bray back in April. And I asked him one question, and it was the one question that my community said, you have to ask Bray Wyatt, what happened to Ramblin' Rabbit? And he stood there, smiled, and said, I could tell you, but, and winked. And ever since this White Rabbit stuff started, that's all that's been in my head, is how long has he planned this? No matter where he went, was this always the plan?
That's a great point, because when you go back and you look at the things like even the mask, that he put out that picture of what looked like the initial designs of what that mask is that he has. It was obviously artwork, but he put out that picture months ago. And then, of course, I go back to the cocoon and that he showed, and the morphing of what this moth or this firefly is. And now, of course, what it is now is merch, which we all knew that was coming too. But
that is my next tattoo.
That's brilliant. And you could see like the difference. I have the shirt on of the Burned Fiend. On the back of this is that moth, and it's different. Like the face on it is the Burned Fiend mask. This one now looks like a skeleton. But
it was like
it reminds me of the Death's Head moth from Silence.
Yes, from Silence of the Lambs. That's a good call. Yeah, that's a good call. But I mean, how long was this in the works? And it's funny. My wife, who watches zero wrestling, none at all. My wife said to me, I'm showing her the video, and of course she's sitting there like, yeah. But then afterwards she goes, are you really sure that he was let go and that he didn't have this planned just to take some time off to get married? She looks at it from the woman's perspective, and she's like, well, didn't he get married? I'm like, yeah. He goes, okay. All right. Well,
I've been saying that all along. I totally think that's what happened. I think this was all planned. He wanted to take some time off because of Brody and everything, get his head right. He did an interview not too long after that, and he just sounded like he was not in a good place then.
Oh gosh. When they did that Brody,
I think he needed some time away, and this was all planned to come back like this.
Was it that Brody tribute video that they did, and he was in it, and like obviously, like knowing him, and Brittany can attest to this too, like, and knowing what his facial expressions are like he was destroyed. And you could just tell on his face that he was in so much pain. And so if that's how it panned out, that this was a planned release, then I don't blame him. He lost a brother and his best friend, and I'm sure that's really difficult to deal with.
Yeah, definitely. No doubt. And speaking of which, Jody brought that up, the Brody stuff. There was a tribute. If people didn't see close enough, you could see the mask up there on the screen. So that was Brody Lee on the right. And then, of course, Abby the Witch wearing that mask. That was meant that Brody Lee wore with the Bludgeon Brothers. So definitely a tribute to there. And a lot of also people said, as far as the door goes, when that door opened up in that blue light, was very similar to how Brody came out when he was introduced in the Dark Order as well. So two possible, it looks very much like there were tributes done to Brody Lee as well. And we know we've seen the other.
They did that on our show once.
The Burned Fiend had that mask on it.
Yep.
Something else from the piece of cloth of the cloth from like his outfit,
but it was just bulky for him to actually wear.
All right, let's go over this really quickly because I don't really know what to make of this. It's again, we talk about theory a lot in this show, and this is obviously a theory. This is going around out there. What about these wrestlers that have darkened their Twitter accounts? Now, we never know what this can turn out to be because we've seen wrestlers do this before. This sometimes could be a character change. Sometimes it could just be they do this after a big loss. Now, Tommaso Ciampa, I know he's up there. His Twitter has been dark since he's had it. He doesn't use it very often in the dark. The header on his Twitter has always been dark. But we did see a very dark-looking and very distraught Liv Morgan. When they went to interview her, she was kind of hiding in a corner, didn't really say much of anything. And obviously then her Twitter circle went dark. Seth Rollins' Twitter circle went dark after his loss on Extreme Rules. We see up there Dolph Ziggler went dark. T-Bar went, so I don't think all these people have to do with Bray, but the people who were associated with him, obviously Seth Rollins, number one, and then Liv was rumored a while back to possibly be a candidate for a role of Abby. So do you guys think, do you give into a lot of these theories? And we're going to get so many theories, so many theories now about everything. But let me ask what you think. I'll go to Dom. Dom, do you put any credit into any of this stuff? Do you think it's random, just happening? Or do you think, maybe there might be something to it?
Well, it goes back to what we were saying earlier. They know how much we like to theorize. The WWE are very, very clever. Obviously, the staff and everybody behind all this stuff, they'll know we'll be debating this stuff right here. The only person there I can see legitimately getting involved, and this is my personal opinion, I'm sure other people here will disagree, will be Liv Morgan. I think that, obviously there was a definite character change or signified the event. I'm so used to it being on Sunday, so I nearly said, it's so weird. But yeah, like for me, I think this is them trolling us, in the same way that Grayson Waller did with that photo. I think they're jumping on the bandwagon to sort of, because there are people writing articles, wrestling journalists now writing articles about this these very images. We're here debating it. It's great buzz for the WWE. Is T-Bar going to join Bray Wyatt? The weirdest one I can imagine of all of those would be Dolph Ziggler. Can you imagine Dolph Ziggler with Bray? I love Dolph. I think he's great talent, but could I see him be a part of a Wyatt 6? I don't know about that. So I think this is the WWE superstars having a little troll because they know how dedicated we are as fans. Personally, but that's just me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm going to go to this. Jody has the privilege of being the second person that Wyndham has tweeted back. This happened yesterday. If you all weren't aware, Jody wrote that tweet that's up on the left-hand side. And of course, you could see Bray's answer in response to her on the right there, and it says "Me too." And this happened yesterday. So, and it was only the second time. Of course, we saw him tweet out that picture of the little girl. Was the first one where she was kind of dancing in front of the TV set, and then he wrote underneath it, "This is why," probably meaning this is why I came back. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Jody got this response to her tweet yesterday. Jody, this had to be awesome. I know Jody texted me right away about it. And blowing up, obviously, she kept showing me how many people were looking at the tweet and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my God, of course.
Oh my gosh. I had to turn my notifications off because it was just it's still nonstop. I think that tweet's on like almost 4,000 likes now.
That's really cool. Tell everybody what you kind of thought. You were telling me about, that it had to have been something that he purposely went back for because of the timing. I think you were mentioning.
Oh yeah, it was 5 hours later, and I'm sure he got tagged in a bajillion things. So. Yes. He follows me, so there's a chance he saw it as he was scrolling on his timeline, but I wouldn't put it past him to go looking for it.
So that's awesome. Of course, Jody gets a response from the man right there. So that's amazing. All right, let me just go to now. Of course, we have some people in. Let's go to this real quickly because we saw the puppets in real life form. Let me go to this picture here. This, of course, this again is Jason Baker.
I saw a meme about this that made me cry. I was laughing so hard. And on the top it said, when your mom says you can invite your friends over for a sleepover and your friends are your friends. Like I just died laughing.
what did you guys all think of the obviously of the look and the costumes of the puppets? Again, something that has been rumored for a long time, saying that they might have been working on a faction with the puppets at one point, that wrestlers were gonna play the puppets. But I know we touched on this a little bit before. But what did you think of the look of everyone and the costumes that Jason Baker did? I'll start with Hanzo. What did you think of the puppets look?
The puppets look amazing, literally. The dedication. I mean, apart from Rambling Rabbit, because he can go into hell. But I mean, Huskers, Abby, Mercy, even the Fiend, which I assume is probably Bo Dallas, but they all look amazing. Like it's that level of craft. Like, it must have taken a good year tops to plan all this, but honestly, the execution was insane.
I love the detail, and I didn't even realize until I looked at them closely on this picture the wings on Mercy, and then the feathers. He had feathers on his hands, which is amazing. I love the butcher's robe on Huskus. It almost looked like Texas Chainsaw Massacre-esque with the butcher's skirt. Somebody on Twitter, of course, wrote Huskus got to be told that you can't use Clorox with a black T-shirt. Of course, Abby with the veil, and that looks very similar to the veil that Alexa Bliss had when we saw her with the swamp match, and then the tribute to Brody Lee. The one cool thing I noticed with this, on early pictures of Bray Wyatt and the Fiend, very early pictures, and oftentimes you get like concept art, especially when you look at games like WWE Supercard and things like that. They had the Fiend in a robe that looked very similar to that, and it came out with a hoodie. You didn't really see that happen much in the arenas. So this is kind of cool because it kind of goes back maybe to the roots of what that Bray character is. Let me go to Sean. Sean, what did you think of the look of these costumes?
I thought it was totally amazing. I'd like to know if Jason Baker was the Fiend. I don't know, just something tells me that like they're buddies, and he helped mold that mask. So I'd like to know, if we ever find out if that was him who played the Fiend. But I think it's pretty awesome.
That's a good question. Brittany, what did you think?
Honestly, I think I'm looking at this photo and I'm getting like PTSD again. No, it was really
rabbit, man.
And I'm telling you, I was afraid of Bear in the Big Blue House when I was a kid. If I would have seen Ramblin' Rabbit looking like this, I'd have been hiding under my bed. No, but honestly, I do think that they did really good bringing the puppets to life. And honestly, I kind of agree. It might have been Jason Baker the more I think about it in the Fiend thingy, but I don't know.
That's a good question. It could be anybody could have been the Fiend there. Yeah. So, and I don't think Jason's a big dude. I think he's kind of a little bit smaller, height wise. So it could have been him.
I have
Dom, what do you think about the puppet costumes, man?
Man, what an incredible series of moments. I think for me, if I'd have just seen that photo, that'd be one thing. But the atmosphere when every puppet, every costume got its time, with the song going as well, and everybody got the spotlight. It was just, it was such a spine-tingling atmosphere. And one of the things that I'm interested in here is obviously there was a lot of innocence to the puppets in the Funhouse, except for maybe Mares, but Huskers certainly had a lot of innocence. Even Abby, obviously, certainly Rambling Rabbit. These puppets look anything but innocent. There's a menacing, nature to these puppets, and I wonder if that's something that, you know what I mean, like Rambling Rabbit's eyes bulging out of his head. You know what I mean? It's maybe these are the beaten up puppets. You know what I mean? That took abuse from Bray. It's a fascinating idea, but yeah, what an incredible visual. And I know there was talk of who's the new producer that's coming, Rob Fee, and a horror movie. Yeah, I mean, or a horror movie starring the Fiend. I mean, these could be straight out of that. You know what I mean? So this could be something for the future. Yeah, with all these characters.
That's
true. Jason is about 3-4 inches shorter than Bray.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I have a picture of it on my phone.
Okay.
Picture of it on my phone.
Tazzy, what'd you think of the puppets costumes, man?
Somebody said in the chat this could like Chuck E. Cheese. I'm like, can you imagine your Chuck E. Cheese
one
look like this?
Chuck E. Cheese group.
Very fried Chuck E. Cheese. Now these costumes are amazing. Like,
oh yeah,
like literally these are like professionally done. Like, look, they don't look human. They don't look human at all. I love this. I love this. This is brilliant. That's all I can say. It's
yeah.
brilliant.
If you're a horror fan, I mean, these are right up your alley.
Oh, without a doubt. Can you imagine? I would like to eat in that Chuck E. Cheese if there was going to be in Chuck E. Cheese. I would actually enjoy that.
A horror-based Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
That's
brilliant.
Let's do it. Let's do
have
it.
to rename it like Chucky the doll.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's awesome. That'd be awesome. Hanzo, did I ask you yet? What did you think of the costume?
Yeah, they're great. As I just said a minute ago, the imposters looks like the Winnie the Pooh from that Blood and Honey movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, the horror movie for Winnie the Pooh. Yes, yeah, good point. All right. Let's go to, we're running out of time. We're getting close here. So I want to just go through and give some people some, a little bit of advertising here really quickly for the people that have been on. And then I want to get into what we're looking forward to the future. So obviously we got Raw tonight. Raw is in Brooklyn. Brooklyn is a crazy place, usually a crazy venue. Usually a lot of the crowd's usually really into it there. We've got a DX reunion advertised tonight. So I want to get all your opinions on where you think this is headed. What is next? What do you see happening next? But before I do, let me put this up here. Obviously, Nicole was having some technical problems. Nicole joined us earlier. That is her art. So make sure you check her out on Twitter. It's Nicole, and there's her name up there, Fallucca. So very cool. She did obviously the artwork there of Bray with the new mask. So that's really awesome. We have Brittany K up there as well. Brittany's been doing some artwork also, so make sure you hit her up. She's on Twitter also. And there's some other stuff by Brittany that she has done, so that's very awesome. You can see some Fiend stuff. And, of course, Alexa Bliss there. I know she's done other wrestler drawings as well. So, obviously, hit Brittany up as well if you're interested in the artwork things. That's awesome. We did have some breaking news about the merch that came out, so that was our breaking news.
I love that graphic.
Breaking news. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. So I gotta shout out the chat. 300 plus people, and there were a little more at one point. So everybody in the chat, you guys are awesome. Again, we are just so I personally have to shout out Jody and Jeff for keeping this thing going week after week after week when they're literally, it was really hard to find stuff to talk about. And of course, C Wrestling, who, his videos always had, and I got to tell you, I'm some kind of a pessimist sometimes. And I even said to C many times, I just don't think he's coming back. I just don't think he's coming back. C had the positivity to keep it going, keep thinking that he was going to be back. So C, I'll start with you. We're going forward tonight. Raw is less than an hour away. What do you think we see? Do we get another sighting of Bray tonight? Do we get a promo? And I'll ask you this too. Where do you think he shows up first to wrestle?
That's a good question. I wouldn't be shocked if it was Crown Jewel. They love him in Saudi, so that really wouldn't surprise me. I also think it will be a promo tonight. I just think you've got to go slow with this. Do the slow burn. Give us a little bit each week,
Yeah, I would agree. I would think so too. I know some people were saying, "Oh God, DX is there. Look out, Road Dogg's going to get taken out." I know he can't really do anything to poor Triple H because he just came off of major heart stuff. So I don't think he's going to be messing with him. But all right. So
I will make a point though. Triple H has got a wife.
Oh, yes, he does.
You see,
if you want to get to Triple H, there's one good way to do it.
Oh, yes, he does. There you go. All right, I'm going to go down the line here. Let me start with Tazzy. Tazzy, where do you think we see him, man? And by the way, Tazzy, plug your show. Tazzy's doing a Raw watch-along right after this that we're going to pass him over to, or pass you guys over to. So Tazzy, obviously, plug the show and let us know. Do you think we're going to see something from him tonight on Raw? And where do you think he's going to wrestle his first match?
I agree with C. It should be Crown Jewel. I mean, he might sneak on somebody like on the back, but it got to be a pro. I consider Bray and Undertaker's like special, so it's like it has to be. You can't have him every single event. It got to be like be a surprise, like you know what I mean. So it's either a promo or it be something, like backstage, more backstage or something like that. Yeah, man. Tonight I'm start putting it in the chat in a minute. Tonight, Monday Night Raw watch along. Yes, we do nothing but party on our watch alongs. I just throw it out there.
It's always a party.
It's probably the closest to TV 14 as a YouTube show that you could possibly have. And now that Bray is back on. It's going to be insane. So I'm going to start putting in the chat. We will start as soon as we get done. Well, as soon as I get my dope beverage. But as soon as we get done here, we'll go straight there, and I'll put it in the chat now.
All right, there you go. So make sure you head over to Tazzy's channel to check that out. I know Jody's going to be joining him there. And, of course, the voice of God, Dan T, I think is probably going to be there too. We had him on our stream last night, and honest to God, he scared the hell out of me. Half the time we would talk, I was like, "Oh my God!" I'd look up in the sky thinking it was. Let's go to Hanzo. Hanzo, what do you think we get tonight, and where do you think he's going to wrestle his first match?
I think tonight we'll just get a promo, simple little promo, just a little tease. I said to Jody, if he goes, "Did you miss me?"
Oh,
like a little wink, like a little wink.
If he says that, what Tazzy's reaction was, that's gonna be me. I'm just gonna get up.
like a little wink and a little nod. Yep. And then I think maybe it's the same as say maybe Crown Jewel, like they love him. Everyone loves him. Like as long as Crown Jewel, Goldberg, squash him, and then just make him retire because Goldberg's just a loser. Just choke him out, please, and then
that would right a major wrong.
Yes, right,
and Bray loves to do that. So obviously that was what the Fiend character was for. So, Brittany, what do you think we get tonight, and where do you think he may wrestle his first match?
I think I'm going to go with everyone else and say that we're going to get a promo. And I'm thinking Crown Jewel, to be honest, is when he does his first match. So,
okay. Yeah. It would make a lot of sense, and how Hanzo mentioned he had that horrible loss to we don't even mention that name, but we know what happened there. And, so to go there and right a wrong, it would be awesome if they could get Goldberg back and have him squash him. That would be amazing, and that would right the wrong. I don't think he's signed for anything else, though, this year's, but who knows? We'll see. Give him enough money, he'll show up. Sean, what do you think?
I think it's going to be a promo tonight in Crown Jewel as well, but what I really want to see is Royal Rumble, and then they do like the 3 Faces of Foley thing.
Oh,
I hope
nice.
Every character. It'd be sick.
I love that, and I think that would be an awesome way to go. You can hold the Fiend character off as his Cactus Jack character, where he only needs to use him when when you know if the Fiend comes out, he's winning. Whatever match that he has, and that was what Cactus Jack was. Foley brought him out. He's winning that match. And that should, very rarely, similar to kind of Finn Balor's Demon as well. It only comes out very rarely. But I love that. That's a great thought. Dom, same question to you.
Jack.
Yeah, man, I'd love that too. I'm with Sean there. That'd be incredible. I think for me, promo, I think they have to do something with him to capitalize on the momentum. You know, I'm with Tazzy as well. I'm with, I like the, sparing use of him. Absolutely. Absolutely don't have him on every show. But tonight there is serious momentum to capitalize on. So let's have a promo. Let's have something. And then let's have him wrestle and win at Crown Jewel, whatever he's doing.
Yes. And Dom obviously has his own channel. It's called Give Me a Whole Yeah Podcast. Dom, do you have anything going tonight?
Yeah, well, we've got something going on. We'll be up late with Raw. We also have WWE interviews, AEW interviews, Impact interviews. We've got an interview with Jason Baker on the channel. So yeah, lots of cool stuff on there. So please do check us out, and thank you for any support. And I always say this, but it's a community. I love being a part of this because here I don't feel so alone with my with my Bray fandom. You know what I mean? If you go and watch our channel. My colleagues do not share my love for Bray, and nobody else other than you guys quite gets it. So I really appreciate being able to be here with you all.
You're welcome anytime.
See Wrestling, I would tell you to plug your channel, but I don't think there's a soul out there that doesn't know who you are in our entire group. So I'm sure C will have his things you might have missed. Video after Raw tonight, especially, and he may have more than that, especially if we get another promo from Bray. So keep your eye out for that. I think I got everybody. Did I get Tazzy? I think I did. Yep. Yes. Yep. It was just weird because now the Hollywood squares are back up, so I kind of lost track of where the squares were. All right. Well, I guess it is time, Jody, for final thoughts. You, like everyone else on this show, and obviously you and Jeff have been keeping this thing going. You've been waiting for this moment to arrive. It is finally here. He is back. All is right with the world again. So final thoughts with Jody, and then we are going to get out of here. And of course, we'll be back. It's cool now for this show too, because now, when a match occurs, we could have a special version of Abby's, of course, after a match like we used to have before. So a lot more opportunities for things from this show as well. And of course, Jeff will be back with Jody next Monday. But final thoughts, Jody, and then we will get on out of here.
We're just happy to have him back.
Yeah.
Like, it's still kind of like I said in my tweet, it still doesn't feel real. Like, I don't think it'll actually sink in for a while.
Mm-hmm. Haven't been this excited for a Raw in a long time.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people will share that. I'm going to get out of here too and go buy a t-shirt. So since they are up now, if they're not gone already, because they may very well be. Listen, I want to thank all of you guys. Nicole, obviously, who had some trouble. C Wrestling for popping in. Tazzy as well, who's going to have that Raw watch along on his channel. Hanzo, was cool to meet you, man, face to face. A lot of these people I've never met face to face before, so that's awesome. So nice to meet you. Of course, Dom from Give Me a Whole Yeah Podcast. Thank you for coming out. Sean, also great to see you again. Brittany K, remember to check out her artwork on her Twitter. And of course, Abby and her husband both joining us tonight. So awesome. Great show, everybody. And all of you who are out in that chat, 300 and some strong. This is probably going to be one of the biggest Abby's window we have ever had. So thank you to all of you. Sorry we couldn't say hello and go through all that, but again, I would have been here all show long doing it. But thank you all for coming out and checking out Abby's window. We will see you all soon. Enjoy Raw tonight, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care, everybody. Good night. Stay safe.
So what do you say? You want to see my secret? Let me La 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 la.